How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is running its Summer Game Fest sale. Only a couple days left on that, and I'm sorry, you guys. I gotta look at some of the deals for the high rollers out there. You know, the ballers, the people that are financially set for life, because these games are gonna be under $20. I know. I know I'm price gating people out. I hate to do it, but we gotta cover these games, so we got about 15 deals here, and let's just get right into it, and let's start things off with a weeb title that I love, 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, 75% off for $14.99. Look, I think 13 Sentinels is one of the most underrated games of the last decade, and honestly, of all time. This is probably among my top 20 favorite games of all time. I just think this game is outstanding, mainly from a narrative, visual, and soundtrack standpoint. I think this game is absolutely outstanding. The gameplay, I can understand people not being crazy about the tactics gameplay, the real-time strategy gameplay, especially, you know, for a Japanese game like this. I feel like RTSs aren't what people really think about, but you could set it to easy difficulty if you want. I ain't gonna judge you, you know. Y'all already know me. I'm not gonna judge anyone. And you could really just play this game for the story, the graphics, and the soundtrack, and all of those elements make this game more than worthwhile playing. $15, great price on that. Again, a tremendous game there. ANNO Mutationem is 45% off for $13.74. This is a game that's been holding up in price for quite a while. I really enjoyed it. Is it perfect? No, but the graphic style is fantastic. This pixel graphic style with the cyberpunk aesthetic, I think, just goes together really, really great. The gameplay starts off fairly simplistic, but I do feel like it adds a little bit of depth as you get more and more of the abilities and whatnot. Not a super lengthy game. You can complete it fairly quickly, but, you know, for the 8 to 12 hours, I want to say it was, I beat it right when it came out, but, you know, there's some side content that isn't gonna extend the game that much, but a worthwhile game for this price point of $13.74. Next up, we have Ninja Gaiden, the Master Collection, 50% off for $19.99. Yes, they did do Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, however, that's still going for like $35 on sale, and I just don't think that price point is worth it. However, for $19.99, I think Ninja Gaiden Master Collection is a really, really solid pickup for what it is. It's Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. The games absolutely do show their age, especially Sigma 1 and 2, some janky camera work, but that's still there in Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. Still enjoyable action games, and of course we're coming up on the release of Ninja Gaiden 4 later this year. Now would be a great time to play through the first 3 games, but yeah, just do keep in mind they are a little bit dated in some regards as action titles. Next up, we got Resident Evil 7 Gold Edition and Village Gold Edition, 75% off for $19.99. I mentioned how good of a deal Village Standalone was for $9.99, but really the best deal here is if you don't have Resident Evil 7 and you don't have Village, getting the Gold Edition of both titles for $19.99 is absolutely outstanding. With all the bonus content that you're getting, this is an excellent deal for 2 incredible survival horror titles. Resident Evil Village, I thought, was excellent and one of the best games of 2021, and then Resident Evil 7 was a really strong game as well. $19.99 for both of those games, ahead of the release of Requiem, Resident Evil Requiem in 2026. Now would be a great time to play these as well. Next up, we have Just Shapes and Beats, 40% off for $11.99. If you want something a little bit more on the relaxing side, this is a game that's been received really well. Just Shapes and Beats is a chaotic, co-op musical bullet hell based on 3 simple things: avoid shapes, move to the kick-ass beats, and die repeatedly. You're gonna go back into it over and over again. It's a new spin on the shmup genre, adding a layer of cooperation that's at the core of the game because everything is better with friends. Play alone or with up to 4 players, local or online, through the game's story mode or challenge runs as well. Came out a couple of years ago. Wanted to give this a mention at $11.99. Seems like a pretty good pickup. Next up, Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition is $13.99. I've talked about Final Fantasy 15 ad nauseum. I have a lot of opinions about this game. I do think if you go into it these days, if you don't have the crazy high expectations that I had of this game going into its release, like when you're talking about somebody that was following this game for a decade leading into its release, my expectations were, I don't even want to say that crazy. Yeah, I expected a really good narrative. Yeah, I expected a game to really sink my teeth into from a story standpoint, and unfortunately, that's the area where Final Fantasy 15 falters the most. It's just incredibly disjointed in that regard, and it's a mess in a lot of areas. Now, the Royal Edition does give you the DLC, which pieces things together a little bit nicer, but still, overall, it isn't what I wanted it to be. But you still get a fun action RPG here, and visually it still looks great even after almost a decade since it came out. This is an outstanding looking game, and for $14 I do still think it's a decent pickup. Next up we have Monster Hunter World Iceborne Master Edition. You get Monster Hunter World and the Iceborne expansion. Yes, Monster Hunter Wilds is out, but guess what? World still offers a lot to like, and you're paying a fraction of the price. You're getting the expansion as well, and it's still a worthwhile game. You know, Monster Hunter is one of those IPs that people will always go back to the older entries, and sometimes the older entries are just as good, if not better, than the newer ones. I mean, people go back to like Monster Hunter Generations as well. I'm not digging up my PSP to play Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, but you know what? Going back and playing a World, I think, is definitely worthwhile, and it's not like it's even that old. It came out in 2018, but $15.99 on that, great deal there. Next up, we have Dave the Diver, 35% off for $12.99. A super well-received game in terms of its reception. Came out on PC initially, got a stellar review on there with 116,000 Steam reviews, 97% positive, a casual single-player adventure RPG featuring deep-sea exploration and fishing during the day and sushi restaurant management at night. Join Dave and his quirky friends as they seek to uncover the secrets of the mysterious blue hole. Game was received really strongly. It is available in PlayStation Plus Extra. However, you would imagine that at some point it's going to get pulled from Plus Extra. Still available there, but if you want it in your library, $12.99 for that. Next up, we have Disco Elysium, the final cut. $11.99 for Disco Elysium, a game that I absolutely loved, but you need to know what you're getting yourself into. It is a little bit more on the slower pace side, on the methodical side, very narrative heavy, and it's not going to be for everyone. If you're not into your narrative driven games, you're not going to enjoy this. It's not action heavy or anything like that, and it's a lot of decision making, and it's tackling a lot of interesting themes. I really enjoyed the game and thought it was some of the best writing in a video game, and a lot of mature themes being tackled. For $11.99, I think it's a good pickup, but again, you got to know what you're getting yourself into. Otherwise, you're just going to be, you know, you're just not going to enjoy Disco Elysium all that much if you're expecting something that's more of an action-heavy title. And even for those of you that like story-driven games, like this one is a little bit more on the methodical and slower pace side, so keep that in mind as well. But by the end, it's an incredibly worthwhile experience. Next up, we got Sonic Colors Ultimate, 70% off for $11.99. It was available as a PlayStation Plus title not too long ago, but Sonic Colors is an enjoyable 3D Sonic game. Has its issues. I honestly thought it was a little bit too lengthy. I feel like if they shaved off some of it, it would have actually been a little bit better, but I still ended up enjoying the game for what it was. Great theme song as well, and Sonic always has a knack for having a great soundtrack, and Sonic Colors is no different. Next up, we got Gravity Rush Remastered, 50% off for $14.99. You know, I was really hoping that at the State of Play event, we would get a Gravity Rush 2 Remastered or some sort of Gravity Rush announcement. There are some rumors circulating. Unfortunately, I am left to the side still, you know, praying for the day for a return of Gravity Rush, because I think this is one of the most unique IPs that PlayStation has ever put out. I think it's great. I think it's got a really likable main character, great visual style as well, and whatever we need to do to get a Gravity Rush 3, I would love to see it, and I think if they did it, you know, ported it to PC, I think it would do pretty damn well. I'm not saying, you know, have the biggest budget attached to it in the world, but Gravity Rush is one of those IPs that I think PlayStation could really build around, and I think it would do pretty well, but that's just my 2 cents. Go check out Gravity Rush Remastered if you haven't. $14.99 on that is great. Next up, we have Tactics Ogre Reborn, 60% off for $19.99. I played Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together when it came out on PSP way back in the day. It was available on PS1 initially. It seems to be we're seeing that a lot. PS1, PSP Remastered, then a PlayStation 5 port or PS4 port. The same with Final Fantasy Tactics as well, but Tactics Ogre is a rewarding game. It's an enjoyable tactics game. However, it is brutally, and I mean brutally difficult. It's a very unforgiving game, and that challenge might push some people away. Y'all know me, I'm not all about the crazy difficulty in gaming these days, but still, fairly worthwhile game to go through, and if you're looking for that tactical challenge, you'll find that with Tactics Ogre for sure. Next up, we have Grandia HD Collection, 50% off for $19.99. You get Grandia and Grandia 2 in one collection for PS4 and PS5 HD graphics, throwback JRPG RPG series that didn't get a lot of love back in the day, but those that played it did seem to really enjoy it. Hopefully we get a port of Grandia 3 at some point as well. That'd be pretty cool, but 50% off for Grandia HD Collection. Next up, we have Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana, 50% off for $19.99. This is the Ys game that most people recommend to start off with Ys. Really, you can start off with a lot of them. You can even start off with Nordics. You could start off with Motram Nox. They're all featuring Adol, and they're connected for sure, but they all tell their own story. And Lacrimosa of Dana had a really strong story, I thought, that had a lot of mystery, intrigue, and by the end, really comes together nicely. Ys is gonna be one of those franchises that doesn't blow you away from a visual standpoint. It looks fine, but it was a game that was released on the PS Vita, so keep that in mind. Gameplay is strong, and it's a worthwhile action RPG in that regard, and a good game all around. For $19.99, a good pickup there. And then lastly, we have SCARLET Nexus Ultimate Edition for $19.99, 80% off. Again, this is the Ultimate Edition, which you certainly don't need to get, but there is some additional content: Season Pass, digital art book, and original soundtrack, battle attire set, additional attachment the other, and the SAS plugin. Now, the base game I really did enjoy. I thought SCARLET Nexus was a really enjoyable action RPG. Definitely, they had to cut some corners from a budget standpoint. Not a lot of cutscenes in the game. A lot of the story is told through more static visual novel-esque sequences, but still overall a good game, and really enjoyed the gameplay. Soundtrack is excellent as well. I would give it a shout, and you know, I'm hoping someday we get a SCARLET Nexus 2. Hey, Code Vein is getting a sequel, so maybe SCARLET Nexus 2 isn't out of the realm of possibility. But that'll do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals available right now. I know a lot of Japanese titles in this video, but you know, with my channel, that's what you're gonna expect a lot of the time. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.